Hey, adult leaders. I hope everyone is doing well. We had a great week this week and looking forward to what's ahead this Sunday, and as well as Ellis Weekend coming up. So just a few announcements, and then we'll talk about the lesson coming up this Sunday. First of all, Ellis Weekend is a big one. We need a couple more leaders for that, for Friday night as well as for Saturday. If you can do one or both, that would be incredibly helpful. Please just let me know so we can get you registered, so we can get you a t-shirt. There is no cost for you to serve, but we definitely need some help that weekend. So, and also challenge your students. Go around the table. Who signed up? Who's not? And then if they're not, ask them why. Not in a guilt, a guilty way, but just, hey, why not? And find out if they have some simple questions or even a scholarship need that may be holding them back from coming. This coming week, I'll be here this Sunday the 16th, but I will be out Wednesday the 19th and Sunday the 23rd. We're on a family trip visiting some relatives and running some road races, and so it should be a good week. And I really appreciate everybody subbing in for me. What we're going to do this Wednesday is, in lieu of a message, we're going to have small groups on a Wednesday night. And so after worship, Pastor Mark will dismiss everybody to their small groups. I'll have a lesson written for you that you'll use. You can find that in your email. And then the Sunday after that, Eli Dickerson will be doing our opening time, and it'll be a normal Sunday morning from there. But let's get into the lesson for this Sunday. We are looking at the Day of Atonement in the book of Leviticus, and this lesson is massive, massive implications for the New Testament and the sacrifice of Jesus on the cross. And so I'll just highlight a few things. You'll be in Leviticus 16, and it's interesting, the order of things in verses 15 through 22. I really noticed that the first thing that happens is, through the sacrifice of the animals, their penalty is paid. That's what atonement means, that what was owed because of their sin has been paid through the death of the animals. And then the blood is sprinkled on the mercy seat and on various places, which means their sins are covered and those things are purified. And then there's the scapegoat, where the sins of all the people are laid on the goat and it's sent out. And one commentary I read just said it probably symbolizes that this symbolizes the atonement, that their sins are put on something else. And I think what really, another layer of meaning, something that's really significant here, because I always was taught, well, the goat's going to go out into the wilderness and die, which might be true, which is, do we know for sure it died? But I think what's even more significant is that he was sent outside and all of the sins were laid on it. So once their sins have been paid for and their sins have been covered, now their sins can be removed. And so the thing that makes them guilty is sent away. And I think that's a beautiful picture of redemption and salvation, that what Jesus did on the cross was the permanent sacrifice for all of our sin. Our sins are paid for, our sins are covered, and now our sins can be removed as far as the east is from the west and cast away from us. And so it's great imagery here. Some other good things to highlight. One, obviously the holiness of God in verses 1 through 6. Aaron may not come whenever he wants. The holy place behind the curtain. You could also highlight the tearing of the curtain when Jesus died, and now we can go in. But really highlighting the holiness of God. It has not to do with, God can choose to come down in his holiness and be amongst us. But we cannot choose to just approach him without coming the way he has prescribed for our sins to be covered. The main point of the lesson, we depend on Jesus' sacrifice to enter God's holy presence. That's huge. I think kids don't quite understand that we need Jesus's death for us to be able to even have a relationship with God. Jesus isn't just the key to having a better relationship with God, or he's how we know God, which is both true, but we can't have it at all without what he did on the cross. And you can highlight John 14:6. I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me. On the green page, the theological connection is really, really good. Let me see here. I think on the other page where it says 1 and 2 different ways to start, the cultural connection is really good. It really highlights the idea of why so much blood. And blood sacrifices is something very foreign to our modern day. One of the questions, what does the Day of Atonement teach us about the severity of sin? How does this differ from the way Satan would want us to view sin? That's really good. The people's sin had defiled or made impure the tabernacle throughout the year. How does our sin defile our space today, the people around us? How does the forgiveness believers receive from Christ better than the forgiveness offered by animals? And then finally, the Christ connection, it gets to the verses in Hebrews where the writer of Hebrews is really commentating on how the Levitical system pointed forward to Jesus. Now Jesus is better. So this is a great lesson. In fact, I think I'm probably not going to play a game this Sunday just to give you more time to unpack all of this with them, because it's really, really good stuff. So praying for you to get into this Sunday's lesson. I hope you have a great weekend and stay healthy and safe, and we will see you then.